You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and
Hello there. Welcome to the Flashing Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan. A misty haze floats around the room. It's getting hard to see in this light. You know what's wrong with that? Let me know. Let's meet the plucky girl
that weed
assistants. Right, well, first of all, we've got the Brian. Hello, the Brian. Still American?
Yeah.
Me.
America's freedom is just $1.05.
That's quite cheap, to be fair, if I'm honest with you.
These still
We
American
also have
fluffy girls.
someone that appears on high-value stamps in Sweden, and he can catch fish with his tongue. It's the area known as Spanky.
That would be me.
It's you.
The maple flavored Plucky Girl assistant.
And
Also port powered for your protection.
and then, of course, we've got the new number 2. We're not sure what sort of a number 2 he is yet. Could be a nice number 2. Could be a nasty number 2. We will find out, no doubt, as the show progresses.
Impending Road Dominator Plucky Girl assistant.
Apparently, he's just
I
going to
want-
watch.
Information.
Yeah, right.
He's
Get
got
it.
my
Information.
Your line is by
I'm a
hook or
free
by
man.
crook, we will. Actually, you would make an excellent number 2.
I've
suits
actually,
you.
since I got this jacket, I have come to the conclusion that I think I would be a fucking amazing number 2. I'd be the sort of number 2. I wouldn't be a sadistic number 2. I'd be quite a jolly, friendly number 2, but I would fuck you up.
Well, the island does have nuclear missiles, or the village does. We know that much, so that would keep you happy. And instead of dinosaur pits, you've got the rover spawning point. You know? So,
Robert Wagner, was it? In Goldmember? Like, he did a really good job. That you could pattern yourself after that, but more serious, he'd be a great number.
Well, the interesting thing about Robert Wagner's number 2 in those films is that he had an eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
I know a
Do you
funny
have an
story
eye
about
patch?
that.
I have many eye patches.
He was
Okay,
rocking
then.
that.
We're
He
on
rocked
to
that.
something here, people.
The eye patch, the latest product from Apple.
Mhm.
Let's get this done.
I fucked up the opening lyrics. I got them the wrong way round. I thought, I'll just sit here and be suave and stuff. No, forget that. Just be useless, Siobhan. It's what you do best. Right, news. We didn't discuss it last week because I forgot, but season 2 of Doctor Who is being released on Blu-ray as a box set. I have major excitement. I'm warning you now.
When will you release him?
Well, I don't have him. His skeleton is in Ian Levine's
You've
basement.
put him in the village, haven't you?
No, it's in Ian Levine's basement. I'll have to explain that.
What's the difference?
The full reason for that afterwards. You know, you've got a rough idea, but no, you need to know more. All right, then. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. Noonan's looking forward to that as well. Sorry, thank you very much, Spanky. Just seen chat. What we'd like to do, the two of us, is to be on the Behind the Sofa feature where they get stars on the show to watch the stories of that particular season. They don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing. It's selected highlights of each story. And then discuss it and laugh and show. It's a good little feat. It's essentially a YouTube bloody reaction. Quite, it's like Two Fan Dinosaurs.
Here we go again.
And what do you mean? Here we go again.
You froze.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay, but Stephen and I would love to do that because we both know Hartnell backwards. So, and we know each other. and we do like to laugh. So, Russell Minty, sorry, not Minty, Russell Minton. If you if it was it Minty? Oh Lord, I can't remember. Look,
A minty
contact
Russian?
us. Yeah. Any other news? No.
Oh.
No. So we turn around and we say, Spanky,
Yes,
how
ma'am.
has your week been?
Tumultuous.
Ooh, anything you can share?
Any week that's got a 4-syllable word to describe it's got to be amazing.
I'm saying, it was just one of those weeks. Every time I thought I accomplished something, I did not, and made things worse numerous times. Woohoo! Just one of those weeks. I thought I was getting ahead, and turned out not to be. And
Every time you tried to get out, they pulled you back in.
All I
Oh,
can
you have
say
no
is,
idea,
thank
yes.
God it wasn't just me this week. Brian, how was your week?
it was one of those weeks. Yeah.
Not bad. I completed another trip around the sun.
Oh, happy birthday. I've
Happy
been
One Bastille Day.
told by Retta to say, old man.
Yeah, not in this group.
No. Hello. Oh, is it? No, hang on. Spanky's older than me. How
Yep.
old are you, child?
55.
There you go. He's older than me. This is
The
brilliant.
bait?
This is brilliant.
God,
We'll get
I
back
love
to that in a moment.
You are the
We're
baby.
now going to go to wherever the village is. We're going to talk to the new number 2. Hello. And we're going to say, how was your week?
Well, we didn't crack number 6. He managed to turn the tables on my predecessor again.
Oh, dear.
Rover got popped, and generally, it was all a bit shit.
How did you do in the chess?
I don't play the chess.
Right, well, in that case, I've got
Oh,
the perfect
that
solution.
might be the problem.
It's the perfect solution for any number 2 who's feeling a little bit blue. Announce an art competition.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would the good doctors taking the job of the new number 2 mean I'm going to have to risk alcohol poisoning again? Just purely self-said. Yeah.
I can keep going.
Oh dear God.
That was a fun evening. That was watching the final episode of The Prisoner live, and Eddie and I were rather cruel to Brian, and we basically said, "Drinking game, Brian. Everybody plays this. Every time somebody says, you have to have a drink." Brian goes, "Yep, no problem." And I believe at least
I ran out of alcohol.
Yeah.
This has never happened before.
But did it make the final episode more understandable? That's the question.
It made me able to, sit through it more.
I saw it in German by accident one time, and it seemed to make more sense. I'm not sure. All right.
Don't. Perhaps taking them would help. You froze again.
Yeah, I know. I didn't hear any of that. I'm going to tell you about my week.
Tell us about your week.
I don't want to. It was
Tell
It was
us.
a bad week. I'm sorry. I know. I come on here. The rest of them go, had a week, blah, 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 blah. I sit here and just moan my head off.
I used a 4-syllable
And
word.
I'm
Better
the
step
one
up,
without
you.
life, you know?
Well, Spanky used a 4-syllable word. Come on.
Just saying.
Well,
Step
it's
up.
incredibly impressive.
Woman up. You got your
That word of the
track
day calendar is working well.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Uh-huh.
It's not a word.
Raxacoricofallapatorius.
Yes, that's the name of my cat.
Oh, that's a good name
Right.
for a cat. Raxacoricofallapatorius.
Yeah, it's shortened to Rex. As in, he wrecks things.
It's not. Are you sure he's not actually called Tor?
No, that's
Heard
Justice.
about Ichiban Jikaku Dust now.
My cat has been living with my son,
So your son's cat.
his girlfriend, because, yeah,
So your son's cat. Sorry,
Siobhan
folks.
there.
So your
Then-
son's cat, she said for the third time, hoping the internet won't die this time.
No, my cat. Then my son's cat. Now my son's girlfriend's cat.
Now I don't know if Sinister's frozen or not.
No, I haven't. But I have worked out that if we just have 5 more minutes of freezing time from you, we can put together a bonus show of all the frozen elements.
Wouldn't that be
Oh,
cool?
wow, that's brilliant.
Monty's Frozen
The
Show.
Frozen Show. Yes.
And if
Yeah.
it,
think
if
this
it doesn't
could-
last long enough, sod it,
Me
use some
fan.
photographs.
Well, the
Wait,
cold
they
never
won't
bothered
tell
me
you.
anyway.
No, we saved those for the OnlyFans.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, my
Yeah.
earrings haven't turned up yet. The gentleman who sold them
The
to me
OnlyFans
took them
customers
to
are
the
paying,
post
so-
office
They have
and sent them.
expectations
Spanky,
and needs.
Spanky, do not make me come over there, young man. He took it to the post office, sent it, signed for, and it's still at the post office.
It was
Nearly
scented.
2 weeks later. We think they may have lost it.
What scent did it have on?
So I'm going to have to wait and see. I think he says he's got to fill out a form now. So who knows? I'm a bit annoyed about that. I spent 35 quid on that. It's not his fault, bless him. Anyway, that's the minorest of things. This week I had, thinking, 2 vet appointments. I had to take the dog for her second inoculation on Friday and take Charlotte, one of my cats, to a different vet on Tuesday. However, I decided I want to take Chestnut
Do
instead.
not open the door.
Take Chestnut instead because I thought he needed to see a vet. So that's all fine and dandy. And then
Almost there.
I realised that actually no, I had to take Charlotte to the vets on Friday and the dog to the vets on Tuesday. So did that. Managed to get an appointment for Chestnut the following day at the other vets. That's cost me 140 quid. But that's, talking of money, that's not all. I got my weeks mixed up. See, I get paid 3 weeks out of every 4. And I got it into my head it was the middle week. And that Wednesday just gone, I'd be getting the 3rd payment for the month. I was wrong. It was my week without money. So I just want to thank those of you who, it's rather embarrassing, but you helped me out, and I'm very grateful. I mean, I could have electricity and cat food and the like. Thank you so much. So
I hate when
there's
an old
that.
lady is forced to eat cat food.
Then I tried to get my money back from Virgin because I've had a phone line which hasn't worked for several years now. And every few months I phone them up and they rebate me the line rental. They told me I can't have, well, I can cancel the phone, but it would actually cost me more. The package would go up. So I thought, I'll hang on to it and I'll just phone up every few months like they suggested and get a rebate. They've now turned around and said, no, we're not going to give you a rebate from the last time. We'll give you a rebate from this phone call. No, you owe me Christ knows how much money for something for a service I haven't received. Got nowhere with that. So I've got to go to Ofgem. Sorry, Ofcom.
We know why her service is freezing.
Yeah.
She's pissed off Virgin.
Yeah,
Virgin is angry.
I've got to put in a complaint to Ofcom. Virgin Media are terrible. And
That
then
guy
there's
that
Guinness
runs
Trust.
Virgin Company,
The Guinness Trust, I
Right.
had another failed phone call, same day, where, and the other thing, yeah, God, everything's just gone wrong this week now I put it together. Yeah,
You have enough footage for the show yet?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Hold on.
Nearly.
Got it, buddy?
So I phoned Guinness because they've been taking £5 a week or whatever it is off me for something. And I thought, well, I must have paid it off whatever it was by now, so I tried to cancel it. I was saying, no. It's so you got money in advance. Your rent gets paid in arrears. So this gives you money in advance. And I said, well, hang on a second. Surely if the rent's paid in arrears, once that month's up, the money goes straight back up again because it's paid. Therefore, why do I need to pay any money? Couldn't get her to understand that at all. So not sure what's happening there. I think I'm just. Oh no, she said she was going to cancel it. That's right. Yeah, and also trying to get my disability badge for the car. Every time I go to the online form to fill it out, I complete a step, and then I have to go bollocks. Because the next step, they're requiring something of me, but they don't let you know in advance. So you got a pile of things. You can just go beep, 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 beep. No, you do one page, go on to the next page and go, right, I've got to go away and get that. Come back. Once you've got that, go to the next page. Right, I've got to go and get that. It's been a really stressful week, basically, lads. And then Friday evening, this is good. Sin and I were supposed to do Fan Dinosaurs. And I thought, well, I might be needing the car tomorrow, so I'll go and charge her. Peace Pottage Services, one of the chargers wasn't working, and the guy just pulled in there, was going to be there for an hour. Now, I knew I had to be back for 9 o'clock for Sinister, and so I went to the BP Pulse charging thing up in Purple Parking at Gatwick. Second time I've been there, and I vowed never to go there again after the first time, but needs must. Ended up being stuck to a charger, unable to disconnect it, unable to talk to the people, because A, it was a bad phone line, and B, because the car was so close to the charger, I could talk, but when they answered, it was coming out the car speakers, and I couldn't hear them. And then suddenly, as if by magic, my car spat the charger across the bloody floor, and so it had enough. And I used one of the other smaller chargers. But by then it was far, far too late to do 2 Fan Dinosaurs, which is why there's no 2 Fan Dinosaurs. And there will also not be a Flashing Blade next Sunday. Sinister and I are recovering from Hooverville, and Brian's on holiday. Where are you going, Brian?
I'm going up to New England.
What's up with the old one?
You live here.
You guys are there.
You should know. Do you want a list?
Come on. But no, I'm going up Massachusetts way. Going to see some people.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
nice. Well,
couple
you're
days
not
up
gonna have
there.
to worry about the Sunday evening. You can hello, Itchy. Look at
He's
you.
a
He
happy
says
doggy.
no.
Oh, and the other thing, of course, was that the person we were waiting on Saturday for us all to meet up couldn't make it. And so the whole day just fell apart.
To visit her.
Yeah. No, we weren't going to visit her.
No, I was. I am.
Sorry, Retta. Yeah,
She knows
so
what she's
last
getting
week was
into.
absolute shit, quite frankly.
Mm-mm.
So I needed to have a moan. I needed to get that out of my system.
You feel better?
I don't know yet.
Okay. All
That
right,
wasn't
that's
a
fair.
real full-on rant. If I'm honest with you, that was just reporting the state of affairs.
Mm.
You know. Mm.
I'm a
do
little
say
worked
happy
up because we're
things
having
as
a
well.
vehicle towed out of the front yard. So
Right
if he
then.
starts bouncing around and being weird, you guys know why. And
If you
gals.
start bouncing around and being weird, okay,
No,
tell
Ichi
me
does.
how this differs from normal behaviour.
Well, we're not normally getting vehicles towed out of the front yard. We've had this old
Oh,
thing
there
sitting
you
out
go.
there. I can't remember what the hell it is.
What's that?
you
Brian?
Diablo'd.
Like a
That's a high
passport or
point.
something.
I really enjoyed our Diablo last night. I did indeed. In fact, I went back on there and I carried on playing for ages, and then I went back again this evening before this. I'm finding it incredibly enjoyable on the pad. I really am. Yeah, brilliant. Love it. And you don't have to pay money. I know it's Diablo immoral, but unless you're really going to get into the end game and this, that, and the other, you don't have to spend a penny. It's good shit. And it runs so well on a tablet. It really does. And on my phone.
Oh, it's made for your tablet.
Well, tablet/telephone. I froze again, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I did.
Yes, Discoche.
So the competition this week is, what words was Siobhan saying when she froze?
I.
Rex Alispidicious Explodimocious something or other. I don't know. Rexifragilistic something.
Are we going to have to sit down and watch Mary Poppins, love?
Gone Herpesiphelades. I think that was it.
Right then. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. Brian asked me a very interesting question before we started the show. Can you remember what that question was, Brian?
Oh, why is it all so sad?
That was the question.
Questions?
Doctor Who, because we now know that's his real name.
Dr. Basil Who.
Well, Basil Disco, to be fair.
Basil
Dr.
Disco.
Basil
Who.
Disco
But
Who. Right.
we now know it's actually his name is Doctor Who. It's finally being proven. Anyway, he's in a bit of shock because there's Missy, there's Bill as a Cyberman, and suddenly the fucking Master's turned up as well. All his
Technically, the
worst
Master
nightmares
was
come
always
at once,
there.
quite frankly.
He was always there.
We're looking at The Doctor Falls, which has a different tone to
Easy, buddy.
the
Calm down.
previous episode, but is still as good. It's a very important thing. This is the Capaldi send-off. It's not Twice Upon a Time. This is the Capaldi send-off, where he stands there and he makes his speech to the Master and Missy. I absolutely adore this. I mean, I love Capaldi's Doctor all the way through. I'm trying to think if there's actually been a Duff Capaldi episode. I'd have to think about that. So, who would like to go first?
I don't know if y'all could hear that. Sorry.
Anybody? Sinister, please. I want information.
You won't get it.
By hook or by crook, we will. Oh, no, hang on, I'm doing him. Should have hit.
Right. So, yeah, the spooky elements have gone in this story. I think it's more of a, well, it is a base under siege episode,
And a character piece as well.
and it's interesting because I'd always wondered what would happen if we had a 5 Doctor scenario with the Master, and it turns out they hate each other and kill each other. Each one of them kills the other, even though it's chronologically impossible.
I mean, quite frankly, that is the Master's perfect end.
And
Yeah.
they're also disturbingly
That was a good-
attracted to each other.
Yeah, they
well,
are, right?
no, that's
Yeah.
John Sim. That's not Missy.
I'm just
Well,
saying
Master.
that's
She shoots him down practically every time. Literally.
She's just playing hard to get.
But yeah, keep going, dude.
So
much, isn't it?
So essentially, our plucky team escaped to a higher floor. Was it 507? Something like that. I think so. 507.
I don't know.
Where basically the Cybermen have kind of never been able to get beyond because there's a bunch of humans taking them out, essentially.
Yes.
And
They're even
so-
into scarecrows.
yeah, so they use them as scarecrows. Now there's one interesting aspect here, and there's one slightly nitpicky aspect here that I've got.
Okay.
The good aspect is that having obviously determined that they're 0.1 Cyberman, in case of the guys with the surgical outfits on aren't cutting it, they basically evolve, and we see more advanced Cybermen. Now that's the cool bit. The slightly picky element is, well, there's two slightly picky elements. One, I would have loved to have seen the 80s Cybermen in there, and I would love to have seen
Or the
all the
60s Cybermen.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen all the different iterations of Cybermen. We actually see 3. We see the most recent. We see the Cybus style, albeit without the.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we should be up and running again.
Oh no!
The Wrath of Virgin Media. You're not wrong there.
Oh no! We're just gone. Poor Red
Sid,
can't
do you
carry.
want to carry on again from where you left off about talking about the various cyber designs?
Yeah, so I was disappointed not to see more than 3 Cybermen designs. That would have been super cool. I mean, put it this way, they pushed the boat out for the Daleks.
Yes.
And they've had a couple of different episodes where we've seen supposedly every single Dalek design, even though I questioned that.
Yes,
but
so do
even
I.
so,
Very much so.
even so, it's nice to see different Daleks. So, yeah, they kind of made a kind of nod towards this, but I think they could have gone.
To be fair, I was talking about the money side of things. When it comes to the Daleks, they went round and asked all the fans if they could use their Daleks. Why didn't they do the same with Cybermen?
Precisely. It's not like they don't exist.
No, well, no.
Anyway,
budgetary constraints.
Well, the other thing I was going to say was, given, as I think this is where we got cut off, given the accelerated time at the end of the ship, I would have expected a constant set of attacks from Cybermen rather than the big gaps we get in between the attacks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if there was a big delay on the bottom of the spaceship, by the time the time had changed to the middle of the spaceship, there would have been a nigh on relentless series of attacks, and you would have gradually seen the Cybermen getting better and better and better. Can I also say, so they somehow hack the nature of this solar farm on floor 507 and cause huge explosions. Typically, if you set fire to a fuel tank, the whole thing goes up, not just a bit of it.
The only thing I can think of is they were separate fuel tanks. That's why they were in separate areas you had to point at.
Yeah. Anyway, by the by, I thought it was a different tone. I preferred the spookier episode 1 of this, to be honest. But I do appreciate very much the fact that the Master killed himself / herself. They both killed the other one.
I'm going to ask the question now. Where does us leave? Where does that leave us? Where Sacha Dhawan's concerned?
Look, we've been asking this question ever since Planet of Fire, when the Master was killed and then came back, and everyone just goes, "Oh, the Master's back again."
But surely that screws up Missy's redemption arc. Makes it all worthless.
Tell that to the Rise of Skywalker.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
You never know. We've still got the centenary special. There might be an explanation, or if there's no explanation, I guarantee you RTD will just throw in a single line to explain everything.
By the way, and this is going to alienate many of our fans.
What, the legs, or?
I have not seen, nor will I ever see, The Rise of Skywalker. The only decent Disney Star Wars film was Rogue One, which was fucking amazing. I saw The Force Awakens twice, I saw The Last Jedi once, and I haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker, but I know more about it than I need to.
I find it very interesting that the best Disney Star Wars film is the one that's least like Star Wars. It's a bit like
Well,
it's
no,
a bit like, it's a bit like Bond. Skyfall. I think it's the best James Bond film.
Well,
But
the interesting
it's
thing about
like
the interesting thing about Rogue One is, Vader aside, it doesn't feature the Skywalker clan, but it's actually a war film.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
World War II movie set in Star Wars.
Set in
Yeah.
space, love, in space.
No, I don't. No. It's not space. It's Star Wars.
In
There's
the
a
space
difference.
Here a long time ago.
Anyway, what else was I going to say? Oh! I did have a note about this. Hang on a minute.
Uh-oh. You took notes. We're screwed. Close the petting zoo. Return all trays to their
Right.
upright position.
And I'm getting fucked off with this, to be honest, and I'm not afraid to say it. Why does modern Doctor Who have an issue with companions just going home instead of travelling around the universe either on their own or with someone else?
Martha.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's all of them, but put it this way, Bill's ending is the same as Clara's ending. And I will fucking die on this hill.
No, I'm not going to disagree
No,
with you. You've
that's
just
fine.
stated fact. Can't disagree with
So-
fact, Andrew.
I'm annoyed.
right-wing.
I'm annoyed that modern Doctor Who companions can't just go home. I mean, another exception being, what's his face?
Adam.
Bradley.
Oh yeah.
I think
Graham,
there's a reason for that.
Go on.
I think that as the Doctor
Right.
progresses in his relationships with these companions, they become so traumatized and damaged they're no longer able to assimilate back into Earth's normal society, and so they perforce must then continue on in the only life that they're able to adapt to now, which is this weird kind of celestial roaming kind of
There's
thing.
also the whole PTSD issue.
That would be
There
part of
is,
that.
but there's also the whole,
Damage
how
trauma
can I
thing.
go home after knowing all this?
all this.
Yeah,
that,
there
that
is.
the world we're in a simulation thing and all that,
You
right?
never
Yeah.
know. You never know. We might get some sort of reference to this in the same.
Mickey went back to being
I mean,
relatively
we've
normal.
Got Ace and we've got Tegan. Yeah, shame about the actor. We've got Ace
Yeah.
and we've got Tegan. Maybe there is some sort of get together they have annually or something like
Graham went home.
that.
Yeah.
We've already said that.
I'm not-
love.
I'm not saying
No.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but what particularly annoys me is that Clara died and then buggered off into space with a friend. Bill died and then buggered off into space with a friend. I mean, okay, I'm not.
Lazy writing.
I like Stephen Moffat, but has he run out of ideas or what?
Yes. Well, no, one is an ending. The Bill and her girlfriend going off into space, that's an ending. Clara and me going off in pursuit of whatever, that's a backdoor pilot.
No.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
can
thought
see
that
where
was.
you're coming from, but I can't see them doing
Yeah.
anything with
I was
that.
surprised that we didn't see that. Like, I
The
really thought
characters
that
aren't
was a
strong
backdoor
enough.
pilot.
It's just that simple. The characters aren't strong enough.
No.
And Maisie Williams just isn't up for the job.
No, I'm sorry. Me was a terrible, terrible character. I would much
Do not
rather
say
see-
that next Saturday, please.
Why?
Remember who I'm interviewing.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I would rather see Bill come back than Clara. Bill didn't get enough of a shot.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Yes, I will agree with that. Bill needs to
at least
come back.
one more series of Capaldi, Lucas, and Potts Mackie.
And also, he's doing an honourable thing, but I was quite sad that
Uh-oh.
the team split up in that way. Do you know
I
what I mean?
could see like a pilot kind of thing where Bill and Nardole kind of get in this, like Bill and Nardole's Big Day Out or something, like Baby's Day Out in the cartoons, and like it's boom, and they get lost in the TARDIS and they're gone for like 10 years or something, and the doctor finds them later and they like think they've been out for tea or something, and like and they just hush it up.
If we're talking Big Day Out, How about this for a title? Dude, where's my TARDIS?
There's
Yes.
where's my TARDIS? I'm down.
Yes.
That's it. Dude, where's
Wait,
my
wait,
TARDIS?
wait. Sweet.
What was the name of the Rubik's Cube they were talking about in that film? It was something they were looking for, a device.
Oh, the space time thing. What was that called?
There's a reason for that, because my old Time Lord character used to play with a Rubik's Cube and could never do it.
Was it Sonic?
No, it's just an ordinary Rubik's Cube. But then I saw this film and got a brilliant name for it. It's just, yeah. Actually, that's how the Buccaneer Chronicles finishes. It's quite, yeah. Anyway.
On again.
Yep.
Have I? Oh, well.
Yep.
It probably wasn't anything important.
You were talking about Rubik's.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know. Like I say, boys and girls, gentle beings. Just try and work out what we're saying. Good luck with that.
Well, what's she saying?
Anyway, so Brian, would you like to speak?
Sure.
Okay.
It was so sad.
No, that's not how we say that on this show.
Oh,
was
it's so sad.
We have to make it.
Better. Yeah, I really liked Bill Potts.
Mhm.
She was a great character. Dude, what the fuck are
fuck
you
is
doing?
It's a cooling spray.
Hmm?
Right.
It's
Uh-huh.
refreshing. Basically, I think it's just scented water.
He's
Uh-huh.
basting herself for the cats.
And now I turned the fan on, and it's
That way, when she dies, the cats get additional flavor.
Teriyaki, delicious, right?
You're not right. You know that, don't you? You know you're not
What the
right.
fuck was I saying before you decided to base yourself?
You were talking about Bill, and you really liked her as a character. And it
Oh
was
yeah,
so
Bill was a
sad.
great character. Fantastic run for Pearl Mackie.
Yeah.
Just amazing. It is quite something when a companion character leaves. However, they do it, and the fans still want them back.
Yeah.
I did like the effect of how they had her in the show as well as her Cyberman self.
Yeah.
That was good.
I forgot to mention that. That was particularly well done.
It was.
Yeah.
Superb.
It's a
That's
lot
part of
like
it.
the Matrix's residual self-image.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I was to be ultra picky,
Oh, here's a
it's
surprise.
been done. It's been done before.
It has with Clara.
Clara as the Dalek.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He's just Moffat is just recycling a lot at this stage because he's leaving after this.
Oh, is that what it is?
There
So he's
is
just
no
phoning him
tomorrow
in?
for the man. He's just
Gotcha.
This is
This is
interesting.
what I did before. I didn't like it how it went this
This is interesting.
this time, so I'm going to
Because we
redo
are
it.
talking as fans, which means
Yeah.
we watch every episode and we sit here every week and we moan. But for the casual audience, which is the audience Doctor Who really tries to pick up, it shouldn't really matter. They won't notice. And we've got to
That
remember,
kind of thinking leads to Lucas.
Yes, it does.
Oh God,
in
I'm
the
so
dark
Know
sorry.
that
side.
shit, woman.
I'm so sorry.
I know. Wow, Spanky, you were so forthright on that. Yes, it does.
Uh-huh. That's how you get Lucas in the dark side. You
Just
take that
saying.
back now.
You take that back.
Repetition leads to
That
hate.
shit away.
Hate leads to
See,
Bullshit.
Reddit, the casual fan did
Leads to
not
bullshit.
notice.
Leads to
Disney buying you
leads
out.
to Disney buying you out. That's it.
Disney buying you out leads to lack of continuity.
Would you like to know something absolutely fascinating? Nobody got a single word of that.
No,
Because-
it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great, and the thing froze the whole damn time. Oh my god, the future historians are gonna fucking strangle themselves
well,
over
they know
that.
when to fast forward. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh.
Luckily, they can cut right to our live show instead of having to pick up the internet feed. So you know, good for them.
Brian, carry on.
It doesn't make the casuals appear stupid. I mean, we're fans. We're obsessive fans. I mean, we have the Doctor, we have Siobhan, we have me. We're obsessive fans.
Doctor City.
We notice everything.
Oh, hang on. I am not an obsessive fan. I'm just an ordinary member of the we. Thank you very much. I'm one of the people who shares their
I'm the ordinary fan compared to y'all.
What was the score you got on the last test of quiz of Rassilon there?
Oh, interesting.
Genuinely
we came
cannot
in.
remember the actual score.
We came in like third,
Yeah, we did.
and that
We came
was
third.
all you.
No,
because-
Eddie answered the question, and you did as well.
And we were wrong.
No. Surely you weren't. I'm pretty sure you got it right.
They were easies. They were gimmies.
The thing is, I've been recently. I think I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this last week. I have been given a quiz written by the 14-year-old self of a mutual friend, and his 14-year-old self. I want to do evil things to his ears. Yeah, because that quiz is fiendish. You missed out on that on Saturday. He was going to bring that with him. And I was just going to sit there and laugh like a drain to see somebody else have to go through it. But the one thing,
I have forgotten more about Doctor Who than I currently know.
That's exactly where I was heading with this. Doing this quiz, a lot of the answers, I didn't have the answers directly. I had to work them out from surrounding shit. You know, it wasn't knowledge. It was.
When I was living with my mum and my stepdad, I used to be the sort of person that would say, "Oh, he was in so-and-so's story, and she was in so-and-so, and this episode was directed..." And I used to be one of those people. I'm not that person anymore.
Oh, this is good. However, there is at least one thing I will say to you during the screening of Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD on Saturday.
Yes. Friday,
yes. Oh, that's something else now. Hang on a second. You're going to like this, boys and girls. We're just going off on a tangent, which we don't often do.
Finish your sentence that you were just about to say, and then go off on the tangent.
I can't remember what I was about to say.
You said you were going to say something to me during the screening of that film.
Yes. But I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh.
It's the stammering Dalek.
Right.
Okay, good. Now, the other thing is, okay, we're going to that there Derby for Whoville. We're going up on the Friday. 6 o'clock at the quad. They're showing Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD on the big screen. So close you can feel their CO2. However, 25 minutes away from Derby is a little place called, I think it's Clutch or something like that. And there is the most beautiful Mark II Mackenzie Trench police box, which looks like it's just been done up. And I thought it might be a possible idea to go up there before going to Derby.
If we've got time.
Well, we'll have to sort that out tonight. What time I need to be at your house for? Right.
Bunker.
The house is the secret entrance. It's the secret entrance. Dear God, we know the bunker's there, but we don't want everybody to know.
Christ's sake, give away all the secrets, why don't you?
All right. First of all, Derek isn't actually male. She's female, but he just can't wrap his head around it. I had the same problem with his last assistant, to be honest with you. The Garman Yes.
Have you finished?
Yes. I am dead.
We will be expecting Anti 2.0 sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
Mustn't go driving in any Paris underpasses. Brian, have you anything more to say? That means you please do more speaking.
Nah, I think I'm good. It was a good end. It was a good show. It was an obvious end because Moffat was reusing stuff at this point. having the Missy Master kill each other was truly poetic.
The only way it could happen.
I would just have substituted Missy going, well, yes, but if anybody's going to be there to watch him die, it's going to be me, love. And then go off and watch the doctor die. That's the only way really to get away with it.
Well, I don't know. No. Because
He would probably die with
the
him.
whole redemption arc. They'd worked hard throughout the series at one moment.
She was caught in the middle of a redemption arc. I don't think she was through the redemption arc. But
Yeah, she's not done with it.
The problem with the redemption thing is that as soon as you have a regeneration, everything gets reset anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
They just got to work out
There
how to
are-
regenerate it.
Well,
Like you say,
there
it
are
is the
things that
master.
carry over, right? The
Some things-
regenerations.
Some things carry over, but if I may give a slightly related example, you've got relatively normal doctors up until McCoy, who's a mischievous bastard, frankly, and there was not really much sign of that beforehand. Although they are aspects of the same person, each incarnation must also be considered separately.
I thought, particularly in the Master's case, isn't it? He's got that regeneration sickness thing going on, or whatever, that insanity or something.
Well, that's the
Does
problem.
he have a bit of that too?
No,
Is
he
the
doesn't have the drums anymore in this. The drums are gone. This is past.
No,
that.
The drums have
but
stopped.
the master is criminally insane.
Right.
To pick an incarnation, quite frankly.
No, he's not criminally insane. Because criminally insane means you don't understand the difference between right and wrong.
So just
Okay.
psychotic.
He does understand the
Check
difference
the Bible.
between right and wrong. He
Doesn't
just
care.
doesn't care.
He delights in it, yeah, in doing wrong, right?
What about you, Spanky? What did you make of this? Did you cry?
I did not cry. However, I did enjoy the Matrix moments of Bill with her residual, self-image there, seeing herself like that, and then the obvious disconnect she had between that and trying to recognize herself as a Cyberman, and seeing the play and like how the people were scared of her and stuff like that, and the heartbreak for Bill is having to go from one kind of prejudice to a complete other that, while similar, were also very different. And it was especially tough for her, right? Because a bunch of times, as the series went on, they made a point of pointing out, the kinds of prejudice that Bill as a woman had to suffer as a person of color and as a lesbian, right? And now it's as a Cyberman, it's a whole new world of this poor girl just can't get a fucking break. My God, wow, the doctor, what a bastard. Anyway,
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool. I was kind of surprised that she just did not get torn to itty bitty bitsy pieces much sooner by all the other Cybermen when she was fighting against them, because she was pretty seriously outgunned. But she had to survive to the end to kind of save the doctor, because somebody had to save his bacon, which is basically how that has to happen. Somebody has to save him, so I thought the water girl coming back was okay. You kind of saw it coming. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say something else now after all this. That's all I'm gonna talk about. Bill, the Master. I saw an episode once with David Tennant where he said something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it made me wonder, because I know that they grew up together. Are the Master and Doctor Who related?
No.
No, they're not
Maybe.
like kin.
No, they play on that. They play
like
on
brothers
that.
or something, or
There's an
maybe
episode.
like-
I think there's an episode. I can't remember who says it, where someone says to the Doctor, "Oh, is he your brother?" He's like,
my brother died in a fall or something.
"Yeah,
Wasn't that the David Tennant one?
Yes.
yeah."
I thought
They
that
sat
the
around
doctor's
They sat around.
I
eating
thought the
chips.
doctor's child married the master's child.
No.
Daughter, the girl from the first thing.
This has never been spoken about in canon.
All right.
So,
You see, I'm
well,
good at
that
this
girl
sort of
from
shit.
the first series, the daughter of him and River Song, right? So, and then she has a kid, right? And who's that kid?
Right, again, this isn't canon. This hasn't happened.
This is all news
Okay.
to me.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, never mind. I'll shut off
the thing is, if we start taking extended media into our reviews, we'll be here until the crack of doom because there's
So
so
There is
much.
so much out there. I'm having a hard time telling what is canon and what isn't.
I mean, I am a bit
Is
So-
Big
peed off.
Finish canon or not?
I'm a
So
little-
could Susan be Jenny's daughter?
No.
No.
Are we sure?
Yes.
Yes.
How?
Because I know who Susan is.
Susan is River's daughter, right?
No.
No? Whose
No.
daughter is she
Susan
then?
was around a long time before them, and I don't just mean in the show.
And they're
That's
time
true,
travelers.
right? Yeah. So, and they're time travelers, and that was the
Not
first
back
incarnation.
then. Not
She
the
didn't
back
know.
Then, they don't. Susan, hello, Anthony.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Orange alert. Orange
Orange
alert.
alert. Orange alert. How you doing?
You may go now.
Your overlord commands.
Oh dear. But no, I can't remember. No, Susan is from. Susan, as far as we know, is from the early times. Now that's been, and by that the dark times, essentially, around the time of Rassilon. However, that has recently had its head scratched a little bit during the Name of the Doctor. But considering they didn't have the Hand of Omega there either, it's all right. Yeah, plus with this whole new infinite incarnations, infinite regenerations thing, the whole thing's just opened up now. We don't know what the hell's been going on beforehand.
You know, if you have a time traveling ship, I mean, the possibilities for
You
sneaking,
can't. You can't
offspring
travel
in at various
back.
points.
You cannot travel back along your own planet's timeline. If I had a time machine, I couldn't go into Earth's past. There's a risk I would damage the timeline by the slightest thing, and the timeline I
Would shut you out. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. Therefore, it's the same with the Doctor, especially with the Gallifrey being a time-traveling race.
Put it this way. Frankie.
Every time he visits Gallifrey has got to be linear. It's got to be in sequence, and he cannot go back in time.
Well, that's the interesting thing, is until more recent episodes of Doctor Who, the Doctor always met the Master in a linear fashion as well.
Yes.
The last time they met, the last time the
Right.
Master met the Doctor was also the last time the Doctor met the Master.
Yep.
That seems to have been messed around a bit lately.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
put it
there's
this way,
that.
And also, Spanky, last week I went back in time. You're
Mhm.
supposed to be wearing a pink T-shirt right now, but you've
I
got
was.
green. That's because I changed the timeline.
I noticed that my pink T-shirt had been replaced, and I went, "Well, I think Dr. Sidious has been at it again. Dr.
Exactly
Sinister
what
or
has happened
Sidious,
to
one
Doug?
of you two bastards got in there and full of my laundry, so that's okay. That's fine.
Braver people
And
than
exactly
me.
where has Doug gone?
Huh?
Yeah. Where's
Supposed to
Doug?
be here, but Doug.
Probably the same place Jeff's gone to.
You said you'd never be without Doug.
Uh-huh.
You said Doug was the heart of the show.
It's true.
Yeah.
And now
Sorry, who?
Doug.
Uh huh.
Bye-bye, Doug. Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry, who's Doug? Doug who?
R.I.P.
did-
Doug.
Well, you see,
R.I.P. Doug.
there
I
was
did
a-
enjoy the plane. Go ahead.
Yep.
Sorry.
there was a Doug, but now we are Doug-less.
I don't remember any Doug.
Douglas, get it?
What are you talking about? Nonsense.
Yeah, see? The
Uh-huh.
timeline has already affected her like that. She's already been rewritten.
Siobhan,
Future historians, if you have the Doug episodes,
Please.
please let us know.
It's not
In a
like
previous-
because they don't exist now. They never did exist.
They're a
in a previous
paradox.
timeline,
They're a paradox.
you in a previous timeline, Siobhan, you were a man.
I find that very hard to believe. I really do. I'm sorry.
You
I
had a friend
cannot
named
foresee
Doug.
any timeline at all in which I'm male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, out of the
With a fella named Doug.
14,601 I've seen,
Mm,
only one.
only one.
What?
Just once.
Spanky has to sacrifice himself to save the flashing blade.
It's our best shot.
Okay.
Yep.
Make sure you've got that last line of yours, the last line before dying. Make sure it's a good one. Better than I am Iron Man.
I
Mm.
am atomic sausage.
Or as
Yeah.
one
Atomic sausage, bitches.
Zappy.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been it was some kind of general or something. His last lines were, "Don't be ridiculous. They couldn't hit a thing from this."
From this. That one's gonna be something like "Taste the maple flavor of my justice, Zappy," or whatever. But no, it'll be something like that.
Right. Okay.
There was one last thing I want to say. I
Please
did enjoy
do, please.
also
Oh my God, we're back on track.
the Missy tormenting Bill and them with the doctor's real name. That was funny.
Oh, the whole Doctor Who thing.
Yeah, what did she call him? His real name isn't Doctor. It was Doctor Who loves you or Doctor Who something else, whatever. I couldn't remember what else she said, but that was like, that's not his real name. Is that your real name? Like, just because Bill's kind of an easy target, right? But
Your real
Missy would
name
never
and I
give
don't.
that up, right? Because
I
Missy would
am
never
not
give that up, right? Because
upset.
then the Doctor would give up her real name, and that must be some weird Time Lord kind of thing. Like nobody goes there, right?
Well,
Like
to
they're
be
not going to
fair-
dead name each other,
To be fair, the Doctor's real name is written in the stars of the Medusa Cascade.
Mhm.
That's as far as we know. So why the Great Intelligence couldn't just pop over there and have a quick read, I don't know. But
And have a peep,
Good,
right? There
it's
you
good
go.
old Theta Sigma, isn't it?
well, quite. Or isn't it,
Just saying, what you didn't know was it's like in some obscure alien language, but also in Braille on that language. So there you go.
As well.
So
I want you to appreciate that. That took effort.
there was one last thing that I want to go to when I previously spoke about how each floor. Remember, I said that the ship having artificial gravity, thus would have its own sustained time. Okay. We did see Cybermen penetrating through floors, right? Just punching their way through floors. And that as they destroyed various floors, like that floor didn't lose gravity, seems to support my hypothesis that the ship has one artificial gravity for the entire ship.
I would go down I'd go down the
Space
Star Trek.
redundancies.
I'd go down the Star Trek Next Generation technical manual route. Yes, I've read it. There are gravity floor plates on each deck and each one it can be individually controlled, because what they can do in the Enterprise D is they're actually able to set aside rooms with certain atmospheres and certain gravities to
Right,
accommodate
for different species and things.
Cetacean ops.
that too.
Yeah.
I have just a basic, obvious question about the ship.
42, darling.
No.
Go ahead.
Why don't they just slingshot themselves out of?
No.
I
For
think
start,
they
there's
might.
nobody up. There's nobody at.
The
There's
helm.
nobody at the helm.
top end
at the helm,
to
yeah.
fly the damn thing.
I suspect that they're not quite deep enough to hit the event horizon, nor are they that far enough that they can pull back. And
But they
any
are
attempt-
pulling back. That's just it. The ship
No,
is
no,
slowly.
no,
They're slowly
No.
getting away, but
no. The point being that if you divert the thrust to go around rather than pulling back, you're going to get pulled in.
yeah, at that
Maybe,
point,
yeah.
right? You've got to do the clean breakaway and then come back and skim that curve of that very outer
Yeah,
fringe,
surf
right?
it.
Like at the Roche limit of the
Yeah.
black hole's gravitational pull. You just skip along that, right? Because any
How-
further in and you're going to get sucked right in. So
However, that would have been a fucking amazing scientific solution to the episode.
that would be
Next
pretty
week,
cool, right?
On the
Yeah.
Flashing Blade, Professor Brian Cox looks at the Dominators.
Look at the stars; aren't they
Aren't they
amazing?
amazing? He's essentially our Bill Nye, the science guy.
Just a bit wet.
I think he's lovely. He's got an excellent way of basically bringing science to the people.
He was in a band,
All
wasn't
good.
Chumbawamba, yep.
Yeah,
Get knocked down, but I get up again. That one.
I particularly enjoyed his explanation of why you wouldn't want to nuke a hurricane.
Oh,
As President at the
very
time,
bad.
Trump had
very
With
bad
hard-
idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll just start nuking these hurricanes and we'll take care of them. Like, what? Shut up, Cheeto boy. Psh. There should have just been a scientist next to him to smack the back of his head. Like,
Oh, Richie Sunak,
Every
one
time
of
he
the
spoke, right?
one of the contenders for the Tory leadership. He won't get it, unfortunately. I mean, out of the two, I think he's the least worst, and that's not saying much. But he decided that during the pandemic, they listened to science too much.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
He is not suitable to be PM for one
He's a
reason. For one
Mitchell
reason
Bachelet.
and one reason only.
Hang on a second. If it's Tory remembers you're talking about, then it's probably because he's brown.
No,
Oh.
because he got a conviction.
That's very true. He did get a conviction, didn't he? But they're not
Convicted of
interested
something.
in that. It's the Tories. Fuck the law.
He, Johnson got a fine whilst in office. Well, so did Sunak. That should have ruled him out of the contest
No.
immediately.
No, all those things have just... They've vanished. It doesn't matter anymore. Liz Truss probably isn't going to even appoint an independent ethics advisor.
Right.
And it's a case of say you're not going to have ethics then. Right, okay.
So what are they going to do with Essex?
Hmm?
Where's Essex going to go?
I'm not sure. Possibly to France. Now, that was Doctor Who and the Doctor Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly,
We're done with that now.
nobody mentioned the ending.
We don't want to spoil it.
No.
Spoilers,
Foreign
dear.
places.
Spoilers.
I was wanting to because there's a whole regeneration thing that needs to be delved into. That needs to be talked about at length, but
Next week, we will be looking at Twice Upon a Time.
Well, next episode.
Oh, sorry, yes, in 2 weeks' time, we will be looking at Twice Upon a Time, which is Peter Capaldi's swan song, and features someone who, in certain lights and certain angles, looks like Bill Hartnell.
If
You say so.
Look, I'm not going to get the job. I might as well just say what I think.
if you put that on him.
Yeah. So, I do have a problem with Twice Upon a Time, and with respect to David Bradley, who's created a wonderful first Doctor of his own, it's still not Bill. And I'll be moaning about that a lot in 2 weeks' time. But there we go. Now, big finish.
you're on your own. Yeah.
Have fun with that.
Did you
Yep.
not manage to listen to any?
I didn't manage to get to any this week. I told you it was tumultuous, woman. It was
Okay.
tumultuous.
Does he have to take his
Yeah.
headphones off, Brian?
I believe so.
Did everybody else watch, listen, whatever?
No.
I've already said I was never going to again.
They're off.
He's trying to get his... Okay, right. So, Gallifrey War Room was released this week from Big Finish. It's continuing the Gallifrey series, but now we are in the Time War. Very much so. First thing I'm going to say about this, and from me, it's high praise indeed, because I've not been hugely impressed with the theme tunes on some of the Big Finish releases. But the theme tune for Gallifrey War Room is fucking epic, and I want a full-length version of it. I adore it. Okay, so we're looking at the Time War. If you followed the Gallifrey series up till now, you'll know that Romana is lost.
Oh, I'm gonna have to mute this because I'm up to I haven't hit any of the Time War stuff yet, but I do the Gallifrey story series. So
Okay,
I'm going to turn everything down.
I can do it by interpretive dance.
Go for it.
Yes, please.
Yes.
We want to see that. Please,
You-
interpretive dance. Don't half step. Stand up and get back so we can get the full view with the camera.
Come on,
Go.
you gotta get moving.
Come on, get up and shake that moneymaker.
This is not
Dude.
reverse Irish dancing.
Dude. If I try and do that, I will fall flat on my ass. Shut up. It will probably be in the litter box again.
The OnlyFans want to pay for that. So
Kinda
yeah,
okay with that.
Yeah, I
they're
thought you
okay
might
with
be.
that. Yeah.
So, as a result, Romana is basically... Leela is kept on a
In the
leash
litter
by
box.
Rassilon. Rassilon has been resurrected to fight the Time War, and he is an utter git, of course, played wonderfully by Richard Armitage. Romana is basically doing a task for Rassilon, which is ridiculous, quite frankly. But as long as Leela behaves, Romana will be safe. So Rassilon's decided to send her out on missions. Now, I don't know if you remember the General from Day of the Doctor in the War Room.
Yes.
Yeah, and also he was in Hellbent, with respect to Get the Hell Off His Planet. Yeah. How many? What
Yeah.
regeneration? I'm gonna die. So he's in this, and absolutely superb. Ken Bone, I think his name is Ken Bones. But there's 4 stories, and it's basically the first story is Leela with a bloody thing around her neck, a control necklet, because they don't trust her. They have to go to a planet, and it's on one of those temporal tipping points. Depending what happens, either it's going to fall to the Daleks, or it'll fall to the Time Lords. Or, if the Time Lords get their way, it'll just be destroyed. Because the Time Lords are utter twats. And Leela has to juggle these things and balance them and basically save the planet from any of those fates. Which is, to a certain extent, a slight theme through this set. The second set is the passenger. They find a Dalek ship heading towards Gallifrey, just a single one. They send Leela on board. There's no Daleks. There's just a Time Lord. You can't really remember much. So they take the ship to a weapons area. No. It's almost up there with. Can we have ice cream? So the ship's taken to a weapons area in the Death Zone. And they start questioning this Time Lord. And slowly you realise this Time Lord's a bit of a... Well, you'd think he's a bit of a nutter, and he is a bit of a nutter, but he does have a legitimate grievance. However, I'm saying no more. Like I say, these are brand new. But it's interesting to see the whole thing open up. Okay. The next one's a little bit timey-wimey nonsense. Which... How do I put this? They're trying to find another Time Lord who's been sucked off course. Shut up. And they have to follow the path he takes and then find out what the hell is going on. And they're given the option that would finish the Time War without any bloodshed. I'm saying no more. Sorry. And the last one, The First Days of Faden, is by our very own Sophie Arles. And suddenly a planet's reappeared. It had gone boom, but it's back. Both the Daleks and the Time Lords want to know what the hell's going on. Don't want to give too much away, but Narvin is back. The former Celestial Intervention Agency coordinator. We like Narvin. He started off as a horrible git, and he's become quite the hero. This is a good box set. Like I say, thematically there's a certain similarity between some of these. But I really was hooked listening to this. I binged this, and like I say, the theme tune is just to die for. It really is. Now, obviously that's subjective. We will like different sorts of music, but for me it was lovely. I can do no more than to recommend going out and buying Gallifrey War Room. It really is worth it. And you don't need to know too much about what's happening in Gallifrey's past at the moment. Just that Romana's missing, and so's Narvin. So there we go. Okay, if you'd just like to go and get them back, take the music headphones off and the blindfold, and bring them back into the studio, please. Yeah, that's not working, is it? Why are you quiet? I will slap the back of your legs. No, don't even try and fuck with my head, man. It's fucked enough already. Yeah. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Nicely done. Come back. Come back.
Hello.
Hello, we're done.
Bruh.
What I will say is it's got a bloody brilliant theme tune, which you need to listen to.
Yes.
There we go. And that's Big Finish. Don't know what next week's Big Finish is. Just give me a second and I'll have a little...
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks' time. Oh, that's even more interesting. Oh, God, that means 2 lots of Big Finish. Oh! Right. There's a chance we're going to get Jekyll and Hyde. We're going to get some Thunderbird and TV21 stuff. And then possibly the Doctor of War, episode 2, the Colin Baker one. I don't know, but we've got 2 weeks to find out and to listen to it. So there we go. Right, next up, Brian, who's sat just down there. Look, he's going to discuss The Magicians for you.
Sure.
Without going too much into the plot.
So,
Not much.
episode 3, season 1 of The Magicians. Yeah, feel free. Go ahead.
No.
It's fine.
No.
So we see the story kind of fleshing out. People are pairing off. Alice and Quentin, Katie and Penny, they're going off. Margot is still hanging out with Elliot in the physical kid house.
I will do it every
Yes.
week.
You could do that, but that's not this Elliot.
That's what you think.
Or is it?
No, it really isn't. Trust me.
Oh.
Really not.
Or is it?
So Alice goes into her backstory. She had a brother who attended Breakbills, and he disappeared mysteriously.
Or did he?
No, he really didn't.
Brian,
Her brother
he's gonna keep going.
Charlie.
He's gonna keep going.
That's fine. Her brother Charlie tried to do magic that was way out of his class range.
Or did he?
No, it
Or
was
was
way
it?
out, and he became a Niffin.
Or what?
A Niffin. Apparently, a Niffin is when the magic basically takes over and you become a pure being of magic without a
Ooh.
soul, without any morals,
No,
without any care.
you're not doing that.
Or did he? Anyway, so we have Margot helping Alice because at this point in the story, they really didn't know what to do with Margot.
Yeah, but
Where's-
what's happening? What's the action?
Where's Jerry?
They're trying to bring back Alice's brother Charlie.
Or are they?
Yes. And it's just not working. Basically, they end up bringing him back, but as his Niffin self. And then he promptly tries to kill both Alice and Quentin. As one is wont to do. Yes, exactly. I'm not muted, but you guys are. So that's kind of cool.
No, we're not.
Or are we?
I can fix that.
Or can you?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Look, we can say whatever the hell we like about them.
So they try to bring Charlie back, and it doesn't work. The dean is back. He's growing new eyes. They're repairing his hand. Remember, the last episode we saw him in, there was an attack in the classroom, and he had
We didn't see
lost
that.
his eyes. And by the way, you're still muted. Yeah, it was a filler episode with background on it. Wasn't a bad episode. It does deal with
Keep going. You can do
it
this.
does deal with with Quentin finding out that Julia is now in with the Hedge Witches, which are lower class magic users. They're not formally
Outcasts.
trained. They're kind of outlaw magic users, if you will. They have to scrounge for magic. It's kind of a thinly veiled drug cult. So I think you guys would like this show.
In the magician
Oh,
world, they're the
would we?
untouchables of Indian caste system.
Yeah.
basically.
We also find out that Penny is a traveler as well as a psychic, which means he can teleport anywhere he wants.
Mhm.
The problem is he has no training, so he could very well end up in the middle of a volcano
Oh,
by
yeah.
accident.
Or solid object or some weird shit, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or the ETA of the Japanese society when they had a caste system, sorry.
Yes.
Once again,
And that
education
was it.
from the Flashing Blade. No. You need to tell us what you liked about it, what you didn't like
Oh,
about it.
what did I
You
like
know.
about it?
Come
Well,
on, review it.
the development of characters was really good. You got Alice's backstory. Well, some of it. You didn't get everything because there's way more than what
Hard
this
to describe
episode lets
somebody's
on.
whole life in one episode.
They did foreshadow something that will become very pertinent later on in episodes about the fountain at Breakbills, but I can't really get into that until much later.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love Magicians. This is a good show.
There we
It's
go
a
then.
shame you guys can't watch.
No, we can't. It's I'd like to see it, just at least try.
It's a shame you guys just don't know how to use NordVPN, which is not
I am
our sponsor, by the
for
way.
a VPN. I
you
do not need a VPN.
All right, if we're going down that route, Surfshark.
Exactly.
Right?
All right, let's get the ordinary one out of the way. Audible.
Mm. Oh, good lord. No, we're not doing that,
You
are
are
we?
doing that. Your turn.
We are.
Spanky.
Fuck me.
Sorry, who was that sponsor?
If we have to do that, I'm going to go with fucking Dollar Shave Club because I can't think of
Oh,
anything
you
else.
bastard.
Uh-huh.
That does
Yes!
not beat my Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, damn.
Oh, he played the obvious. That's a
Oh
problem.
my god. Oh my god, I've gone blank. The Great Courses Plus.
That food thing you order and you get food. I can't remember the name of the bloody thing.
Deliveroo.
No. And then there's the cereal. Oh fuck it, Silitbang.
Did you just call Kitchen Gun?
No, I said
Did
Silitbang.
you call kitchen gun? Oh,
I'm not in a position to call kitchen.
toilet gun. Oh.
Toilet grenade, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I think it is.
Toilet Bomb. That's what I did a couple.
Right, moving
About an hour
on.
ago.
She said, turning around and saying kitchen gun. Perhaps we should have prepared that.
No, I've been wanting to do a spontaneous one for some time.
Went wrong, didn't it?
Popio Pocket Fisherman. That would have been my next one. Popio Pocket Fisherman. Anyway,
It's just I can't remember the ones I'm thinking of.
Ron Popio's my hero.
Anyway, we're now going to move on to space, above and beyond. Sinister's going to take over now. Take over the show.
Oh, okay. Did you know watch it then?
I'm taking nope. I have to
She
take
didn't
my
watch
headphones
it
off.
yet
I'm not
again.
allowed to listen to it apparently, according to Brian.
Okay, so the Saratogas sat in space. It's a big carrier thing. Apparently, they don't fly any combat air patrol. Who'd have thought? Anyway, they're
They
just
do.
sat
It's
in
just not
space,
the characters.
kind of doing their thing, and they spot an incoming bogey, as I believe it's termed, and it's an SA-43 Hammerhead that's not giving out any signals, and they shoot at it, a warning shot that gets distressingly close, I thought, the warning shots. And they're like, oh, no, we're not going to let you board. And then, as we've seen before, apparently it only takes the pilot to either take these things off or board the ship. So next thing you know, they've got this guy on board, and they think he's dead. He's not dead. He's called Ray Butts, and he's an asshole. On a planet near a black hole, and his entire crew got wiped out, and he borrows the 58th to go back and get their ships. And then at the end, spoilers, by the way, he sacrifices himself for the rest of our plucky heroes who hate him at this point, and goes into a black hole listening to Johnny Cash.
Pretty much it.
He hates tanks. He's a complete twat.
Yep.
And
Complete
the
plot
Chigs
pretty
have
much
these.
covers it.
The Chigs have got these red fighters which allow them to skip near black holes much quicker. And I mean, what have I got to say about this episode? I mean,
It wasn't needed.
The problem was the guy was so unlikable. I didn't actually give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not a needed episode.
It was not
at all.
Like the whole point of that tropey thing. It's the asshole commander who proves he was right in the. Get out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there
Did
was
Moffat write
nothing.
this one? I'm just saying.
There was nothing apart from his final act of, oh, I'll draw these guys off. There was nothing at all redemptive about his character. Even when they found him digging the graves for the bodies, he was still being a prick. So
Yep. Total cunt all the way. Yep. With you.
I
got yeah. How about our weekly question for Spanky?
Okay, with that.
Go on then.
Good. Hit me.
Oh yeah.
How
yeah.
do you feel about West this episode?
He's a fucking cunt, and I want to kill him. I still want to kill him. Why couldn't Ray Butts have done that? That would have redeemed Butts in my eyes. If you could have killed West, I'd have been like, yes! Okay, Butts, you're kind of an asshole, but you know what? You got some good points, buddy. But no. And then this, because it's bugging me. Okay, they're in the chow hall, and they all get pancakes because Butts likes pancakes or says pancakes or some stupid shit. MacGuffin pancakes. Okay, fine. Tagline pancakes. Okay. Apparently, though, the big design flaw on this fucking ship is when you walk to the trash can and put the pancakes in the fucking trash can, as soon as you do, they immediately go into space.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken in thinking I could depressurize the ship by opening the trash can?
Well,
No, you're not mistaken.
I'm just saying.
It's not just that. If one wrong hit from a Chig fighter, and next thing the whole bloody
Boom.
thing depressurized.
The chow hall gets sucked out into space, and there you are with this gate wound in the belly of your ship, and everybody's gone, and there go all your supplies and shit. Right? Yep.
That's what we call a critical flaw.
Yeah.
in ship
The
design.
Death Star, only instead of the 2-meter little square that the fucking photon torpedoes got to go down. No, they
Well-
put this fucker right on top,
Well,
and
the
there's no
other
gun
thing-
turrets around it.
The other thing as well is it said Trash Disposal Unit 2. So there's at least 2 of them.
There's at least 2,
Yeah.
right?
There's
Like,
two.
the fuck? What? How
And
many
these guys are just
mysteries?
littering space with what? Wasted pancakes
Yeah.
and everything else?
What's going to happen
The
is
chick's gonna think
someone-
of that when they find these pancakes floating around.
in 200 years, someone's going to come along at superluminal speeds, hit a
Hit a
pancake, and they're going to get a
Yeah, death by fucking
That-
pancake. That's why the fucking chigs hate us. Because one of their fucking light speed ships hit a fucking pancake or some stupid shit we left in our trash out in space, and they're angry because we've done nothing but litter up space, just like we did the planet, and they're gonna make us
Colonists
pay.
on that planet just stayed in orbit and let all their trash form a ring around the planet.
Right. That's it. Mhm.
It's like Wally all over again.
All over again. It's
Uh-huh.
Wally right there. Yup.
Wally.
Or if you can get it like they did in Invincible, if you read the comics. I don't know if you guys saw the cartoon.
No,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's around the home world of the big bads. There's a ring around that, and it's all the people of their species that they killed trying to become the super perfect, more like species. And then when a plague hit, they just put the bodies out there, and it's got this really cool ring around it. Dig it up close, and it's just a bunch of dead bodies all mashed in there. But- Go ahead.
There was a Sky comedy series last year. It was set aboard a cruise liner in space, and it goes off course. I can't remember the name of it, but at one
Glory,
point,
right?
they decide to jettison all of their shit, and they get a constant orbiting stream of shit around the
Right.
ship.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But that does propose
no one
one way
takes
we
into
could handle
account.
our space garbage problem. Like if we could get the equivalent of like a space tractor or something and like just, bulldoze all of our space garbage into a ring around the planet. Like, okay. Maybe they would look cool, have some, shiny
Already
lights off it or
doing that in
something,
real
whatever.
life.
Yeah, basically, but it's raining down upon us instead of making a nice little thing. Auntie, do you have something to share?
She can't hear us.
She can't hear us.
So
This is
as
one of the
we-
few
as-
times she can talk, but she can't hear us and not speak.
There you go.
So we should really take advantage of this.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to add on this before we move on to another topic, which we can exclude her from?
Oh yeah, there we go. That was what I was about to suggest. We're good.
I like this episode. This episode really wasn't needed. I didn't need to see Ray Butts. I didn't care about Ray Butts. It filled an hour of lunch.
The best part was Ray Butts died, right? That was it.
Ray
right?
Butts died. The end.
What I did like was when the hammerhead goes into the black hole, rather than the old trope of it stretching into infinity, the fucking thing just falls apart.
Yeah, right. Get shredded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have just kind of went and collapsed into itself, and then gone in, right? Like.
Yeah. Right. So, Johnny Cash. What do we think about Johnny Cash?
Oh, Johnny
Love
Cash
Johnny
is
Cash.
amazing.
Men in Black's the shit. Ray Butts.
Yeah.
Just use Johnny
Ray
Cash.
Butts not so great. And how dare he appropriate Johnny Cash
I'm
music?
just saying. His John Wayne wannabe
Was
ass
it-
was pissing me off.
Was it really Johnny Cash or was it a cover? Do you know? I don't know much about Johnny
I
Cash.
think it was really Johnny
That was
Cash.
Johnny Cash, yeah.
Oh, so they had to pay for the rights for that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But that's about the
okay
same time, wasn't it, that Johnny Cash was making his metal album?
Don't know.
Where-
No. You know what? Actually, that was the same time he actually did an album, and the Chieftains were on it.
Oh, yeah.
He did it because he had a whole bunch of other bands like the Chieftains and who else? There were like a whole bunch of he had a bunch of guest one shots on there and did all these tunes with other artists. I realized I kind of like the Chieftains, so I saw them with Jethro Tull. So I mean, like a Scottish band that like nobody fucking knows over here, but like.
What I suggest we do now is on the count of 3, I suggest we all stick the finger up to Siobhan.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Hello.
Just as well we prearranged a signal. Well done, boys. Well done. I hope you enjoyed the bra I made for you.
Why
I thought
aren't
that
you
was a very
watching-
lovely bra.
Why aren't you watching Saab?
I got a sort of mental block with it. I wish I could describe it. It's just, I don't want to watch it. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. There's nothing rational about it. It's just,
Now, the show is stupid or the mental block is
the
stupid?
mental block is stupid. I mean, I'm
Is it
not
'cause
impressed
of-
with the show either, but,
Is it because of West?
I don't
It's
know who
'cause
that
of
is.
West,
I don't
isn't
know
it?
who that is. I'll catch up at some
Because of West.
1 year.
It's all
I'll catch
West's
up.
fault.
However, now
Bastard.
we're going to talk about Callan. You don't have to come back. There is no point.
No,
in
it's
doing
okay. I prefer it like this.
that. There's no point in you doing that. Quite simply because actually, I don't know if he's got his earpods in or not now.
Haha.
It's just that you won't go and watch Callan, whereas there's a chance I will watch Space Above and Beyond. So, okay, had some difficulty this week trying to work out which episode of Callan to watch because there's
Episode
not
6.
much surviving.
This is the only other episode from Series 1 that survives.
Oh, thank you very much.
They only had 6 episodes in Series 1, and based upon my research, this is the only other one before we go on to Series 2.
Oh, excellent! If you could possibly give me the title of whichever the first one of Series 2 that exists, I'd be very grateful because I have been struggling like a loony. Right. Lonely, and it's a bit of a wet night, comes home, and Greg Sutton is there from the Inferno Project. And he beats Sutton, he doesn't beat Sutton, he beats Lonely up. He's after something. Lonely doesn't know what he's after. But, as luck would have it, Callan happens to turn up. He's after some bullets, because of course he is. And he sees the stakes Lonely's in and how scared he is. And he knows this is serious. And so he starts to track down what's going on. It's all to do with a job Lonely pulled off at a particular house. He picked up something that was actually very important. There was something hidden inside a ring. Secrets, basically, because remember it's the spies now. And it slowly progresses from there. Callan decides to look into this, what's going on. And, right, okay, I'm going to fuck it up for the section. Quite simply, because nobody hits Lonely except Callan. And that's the thing about this episode. This is a very important episode when it comes to the characters of Lonely and Callan. You suddenly realise just how close they really are. If you're interested, backstory, they met in prison.
Yes, I looked this up.
And
Didn't know that.
might
That's
not
cool.
have done.
I did not know that. Yeah.
And it seems that Callan did something for Lonely in prison. Probably looked after him. And as such, Lonely feels he has to repay the debt. Though Callan is still an utter git to him. But it's quite sad because as the series progresses, you realise that each other, Lonely and Callan, they're the only friends each other have. Who would like to go first?
I will.
Okay.
That was actually the first thing I noticed, that this is where you get the idea that really the only reason why Callan puts up with Lonely and Lonely puts up with Callan is really those two are the only friends they have.
Yep.
And while Lonely may be a bitch, he's Callan's bitch.
Yeah.
And you can't have your bitch and that's where the whole prison thing makes sense, that, you can't have your bitch getting roughed up by somebody else, that's your bitch, So, he pulls his pocket out, Lonely grabs it, and they walk around the yard, and everybody knows, okay, that's whose bitch that is, right? That's the way that works. And I guess he didn't do that enough on the street.
I think you're possibly thinking a bit too much into that, if I'm honest with you.
My point being that even though he makes a point of declaring that's my bitch to the guy who runs the little section,
Hunter.
it isn't enough, because it still gets Lonely thumped on even worse. Because when the guy goes in and asks his little questions and stuff, right? He tells the guy, leave him alone. I got this. He won't say anything. But he's already sent another man out there who asks him, what did you know about this? And when he's like trying to say whatever Lonely thinks is the right answer, no, it turns out to be the wrong answer. And of course, he gets another more severe beating because why?
Because
Essentially, these guys are all, they're all sadists and stuff, right? And, they really get off on their work, and that's why they're employed in that job in the first place. And that's why Callan doesn't fit, because he's not a sadist. He's a bastard, but not a sadist.
Fair.
So,
Fair.
yeah. So I thought that was good, that character dynamic and interplay. I thought that was probably the most important thing that they relayed, that the depth of that relationship. That was a very important thing to establish early in the series.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
I'll leave it there. Yeah.
Are you sure? Did you enjoy it?
I could go on. There's a lot to say. I really liked the episode. I like the show Callan, though. I'm a fan, so I like Iwa-Wuwa, so cool.
All right, sweet. Let's quickly go to chat.
I could babble on a lot more.
Wants to be a storm chaser or a funeral director? Well, if you do one, there's a chance you'll need the other. I'm not going to let you know which way. I'd love to be a storm chaser.
Funeral director is you have to deal with too many people.
I also want to. I want to be a mushroom farmer. It looks like a really easy job.
Don't be a mushroom farmer. Science doesn't know what mushrooms are still.
Yeah,
are they plant? Are they animal? Eating some mushrooms is just akin to eating human flesh, so it kicks in the allergies and stuff. You don't want to be a mushroom farmer.
The most violent of all the plant kingdom. They're evil. Don't like them.
I love mushrooms.
However, a storm chaser can drive fast at all points in time, and usually through cornfields and stuff.
Yeah, right.
The downside is you have to go
most
near cornfield.
Storm chasers just stick to roads because
best part about being a storm chaser,
far more sensible than in that fucking film.
Best part about being a storm chaser is you're allowed to drive a tank and nobody looks at you funny. You just say, I'm a storm chaser. And like, oh, he drives into tornadoes. It's cool. He needs a tank.
Reed Trimmer.
Just remember, cows.
Cows, right? Cow.
Another
Apparently,
cow.
there's
no,
no
it's
that
cow.
cow level on Diablo Immortal, which I'm slightly sad about.
That's
I'm
pretty weird,
shocked
yeah.
that a game that's
No cow level?
basically trying to bilk you out of money doesn't
Wouldn't
have
have
a
a cow
cow
But they're
level.
not filching me out of money. That's the joy.
They're trying to, though.
They're
That's
trying
the problem,
to.
yeah. You didn't pay for it, so you don't get to get the cow level.
Oh, you
because-
haven't paid for the cow level.
I don't give
There
a
it is,
pair of
right?
dingoes kidneys. I'm just enjoying playing the basic game.
There you go.
It's my favourite version of Diablo so far.
Download it. Still haven't played it yet. I should
Incredibly
probably
easy to play
take a
on the
crack
tablet.
at it.
It really is.
Well, it's designed for that.
On the tablet,
Dr.
but
Sinister,
yeah, it's on the tablet.
who's just over there.
Hello there.
Hello.
That way, I'm for you.
Toby Mears turns up at your place. What are you going to say? Good. That's clear. What would you like to say about Callum?
I would have said,
Apart from
did you bring
apart
pie?
from the interactions between our erstwhile hero and Lonely,
Is he a hero
I
or is
got
he an anti-hero?
I got a bit lost in this episode. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
I didn't find the plot terribly engaging. However, I was interested enough in the dynamic between Lonely and Callan that whilst the episode was on, I got bored and went and looked up the entire back history of the character.
Oh, that's not brilliant. I mean, it's great, but during the episode, that's a
Yeah.
shame. That is a shame. I thought this one was
plot-
superb.
The plot didn't really do much for me. I was just fascinated that Callan was basically prepared to kill anyone who fucks with Lonely.
Yeah, well, there's that. I kind of thought that's why I left it alone. I thought that the whole, Callan's history being this kind of shitstorm will always come back and haunt him. That's kind of been the theme of Callan to this point. Like, that's why I didn't go into the plot of the story, because I figured that would have been like everybody would say something about that. So I left it alone.
Yeah, and there was Callan says at one point to Lonely, "You could have a bath," but it turns out he wasn't being nasty in this
No.
instance.
No, it
He was
wasn't.
actually like, "No, it'll help you."
Yeah, it helped with the bruising and everything.
Yeah.
Like I say, this is a really important episode.
Mhm.
It really is.
He's actually nice to Lonely a couple of times, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that there's more where that
Mhm.
comes from. Sin, what's the next episode that we need to watch?
Oh, blimey, I don't know. Hang on a sec.
Because I have had a nightmare trying to find out.
Talk amongst
Yes.
yourselves for a minute.
I mean,
I
you
couldn't
get
find
right
a
from the
list
first show.
of existing episodes or a list of missing episodes. I could just find a list of episodes.
Oh, I found a list of episodes or existing episodes.
The
should've-
first
I could've
one
got
is
you there.
episode series 2, episode 1 is called Red Night, White Night, and it survives. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 surviving episodes from series 2, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missing episodes from series 2. And then we go into colour, I believe.
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
Red
Blimey.
Night, you said.
Episode 15 of series 2 has a spoiler in the name of the episode.
Well, we won't say any more than that. Okay, I'm now putting this in
I'll put it in general.
in chat. Yeah, hang on a second.
They gray out the ones that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Chuck it in general when you find it. That's this week's episode. 2 weeks' time episode of Thingy. I must profess I'm a bit peed off because I really want to binge watch it again, and I can't. I've got to do it one episode at a time. Which is, but I love Cat.
Oh,
I really do.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, what?
This series ends on a cliffhanger.
I know what that cliffhanger is.
no.
Yes, and my God,
hell
the
you
public
say.
went nuts at the time. It was massive. It really was. Callan was huge back then as well. Yeah, okay. Excellent.
There you go.
All right then, so it's Red Night, White Night in 2 weeks' time. Thank God for that.
Mhm.
What are you doing next week, Spanky?
Let's see, what's next week? Next week is the start of a new month, so I will be being responsible that week.
Sorry. That's nice.
Paying bills and so forth, all of that business. The minutiae of life that, you need to do to keep the ball rolling, and then I can go back to being my usual slacker, indolent, whatever the hell self. Yeah.
Dude.
Back to being the powered god of destruction that I am, right?
Brian?
Hoping it goes as fast as humanly possible because I'm on vacation as of 3:30 p.m. Friday.
Time is relative, love. Just hope it's on your side.
Yep.
What about you, Sin?
Tomorrow's bank holiday.
Yeah, I know. Gonna get bored.
Then I've got work for 3 days, and then I'm off on Friday because we're going to Derby.
We are, yes. Anybody going to the Derby?
And
come up and say hello.
I am struggling as to whether to wear this or not. See, I went to my first Hooverville. I think I went in a Star Trek outfit.
Star Trek uniform, yeah.
And I just told everybody I was at the wrong convention.
Just go around and say, I've done it again, haven't I?
Trolling. A little bit of trolling. Yeah, it's good.
I'm just picturing the puzzled looks on people's faces, and I'm not sure
whether...
whether...
That's the joy of it. That's the
fun
joy
part.
of it, no?
I'm here. I'm from the crossover episode. Don't you know that one?
Haven't you read the crossover?
I'm going to be wearing the used Grand Duchess t-shirt, very probably. Which I'm sure people will approve of. I've had some looks in the past, I'll tell you that much. Well, I hope you do. But I would like to go to wherever that place is where the police box is. I'm dizzy. If we can. But we'll sort out a time for me to come up to yours and take it from there. Right, sorry, I'm a little bit giddy. I get this occasionally. What am I doing this week? Not much. Going up to Sinisters and then Derby on Friday. Hopefully the letter from PIP will turn up and I can do the next page of my application. And I got to contact Ofcom about Virgin Media. Right. Anybody got anything else to say?
No.
Pancakes, apparently.
Pancakes?
That's the word for the day, pancakes. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. We like pancakes. Mind you, it depends what sort of pancakes we're talking about.
We're talking about...
Your pancakes are very thick. Ours are thin.
Yeah, we're talking about
crepes.
Deep space frozen pancakes.
Deep space frozen. The kind that if you hit them at superluminal speeds cause your spaceship to pancake, right?
Yes.
Yes, somewhat.
The double pancake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right then, my boys. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye to everybody.
We're seeing you.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or John Levine.
Goat alert. Goat alert.